The meaning of the movie author Orpheus for Reading for Minutes published 5.10. 2020 updated 5.10. 2020 on August 31, 2020, the series Survival Game directed by Karen Oganesyan premiered on TNT. The series was filmed in Abkhazia in the genre of psychological thriller with elements of drama and adventure. It is noteworthy that the main roles in the series played not boring to all the actors who roam from project to project, but new interesting faces: Vladimir Verovodkin, Linda Lapinch, Michael Kremer, Valery Skorokhosov and others. Of the familiar names here you can meet Alexandra Bortik, Alexei Chadov and Igor Vernik. The trick is that popular actors play in the series themselves, sometimes appearing to the viewer not in the best light. The plot is that 16 people are flown in from different regions of the country to film a reality show. They are brought to a remote taiga where there is no communication, internet or cell phones. The goal of the project, to pass all the tests and win the biggest prize in the history of Russian television, 1 million euros, while stay human. According to all the canons of reality TV, people picked up completely different. They're an photographer Nikolai Subota, an assistant deputy Victoria Kempinen, MMA fighter Sergei Nechayev, plumber with a criminal past Semyon Ivanovich Prikodko, a cook in the kindergarten Marina, restaurateur Surin, journalist Tatiana, veterinarian, model Maria, businessman Pavel, system administrator Andrei, traffic police inspector Dmitry, a modest accountant Elena, and the owner of a network of gold jewelry Elena. In the first episode, everything looks pretty self-explanatory. The game is reminiscent of the popular show, The Last Hero. Participants are divided into two teams, choose a captain, an MMA fighter and entrepreneur Elena became them, and go through an obstacle course. Already at the first stage the heroes reveal themselves from different sides. Elena shows herself to be bossy and self-centered, and Sergei, anticipating victory, begins to show off in front of the participants. Thanks to which he loses the competition and lets the team down. Surin falls and injures his leg, but decides to continue the game. Later, Bortik and Chadov join the participants. They are confident, arrogant, came for the sake of PR and a large fee. The host, Igor Vernik, informs the participants that at any moment they can go home if they knock 3 times on the gong. The winning team gets a fire and go to their allocated place of residence. This is an abandoned cold house. The second team is left without a prize. They are placed in a room by the river, which causes disappointment for many participants. Nikolai Subota from the first episode shows himself noble and decides to share fire with the competitors, despite the ban of his captain. He sneaks through taiga, hears gunshots, loses fire and gets to the members of the other team. There he is met with a surly welcome. For now, it's every man for himself and he's sure he can manage on his own. Meanwhile, Karen's leg is very swollen, the pain has become unbearable, and he decides to leave the game. He hits the gong 3 times and nothing happens. The other team members try to call for help, but no one responds. They are left alone. This is where the most interesting part begins. Next the participants find out that the whole crew has been killed, there is nowhere to go, there is no communication. Their camp is attacked by convicts, raped the accountant and killed Captain Elena. By common efforts manages to cope with the criminals. The teams unite and look for a way to salvation. The more time they spend in the taiga, the more strange and suspicious things they discover. Many people think that's the point of the game. To go through the most terrifying trials and even murders. Karen shows himself as a coward who can't make a decision. MMA fighter Sergei only gets angry but can't offer anything for the team. Accountant Elena goes crazy after being raped, sees dead people and burns herself in the house. The most attractive characters seem to be Nikolai Saturday and Victoria Kempinen. But there are too many mysteries about Vika that no one can solve. They are too calm, too prepared, too secretive. Nicholas, on the other hand, has experienced a great psychological trauma, in which he lost through his own fault the closest people. And as if trying to stifle the guilt for the past with good deeds. Each character in the series gradually reveals who is for the better and who is for the worse. During 12 episodes one after another the main actors die without passing new tests, or are they tests or is everything real? The director does not give unambiguous answers to the questions arising during the viewing process. But the more you watch, the more the series draws you in. At the end of the last episode, the only survivor is a photographer who receives €1 million and the message, "You have reached a new level." At the same time, some of the dead characters are alive and say that they were forced to play. Definitely, there will be a second season, because the first one doesn't reveal half of the secrets. Is Vicky's sister alive? Who forced Marina to spy on the players? Did veterinarian Natalia, who sacrificed her life for Nikolai, survive? Or maybe it's all a virtual game.